Welcome back. Lesson or video number 2. So I want to start with something that is going to make you feel somewhat uncomfortable. And that is looking at the gap that we talked about in the first video. Because I find that once you get clarity about your numbers, and it's not just sort of some vague worry or anxiety that you have, you'll find that you can actually get traction and do something about it. Things are going to start moving and get into motion. You will not be waking up at 2 a.m. with that dread that you're going to be having a very sparse, shitty retirement. And I'm going to say the part out loud that people aren't saying. The retirement industry is not what it used to be. We got sold this thing, which is actually a lie for today's life. We got told you work hard for 40 years, you retire at 65, you're going to have an abundance in your retirement, you're going to be like living the life of Riley as you retire. But now, with the rising cost of living, with the fact that these pension pots are not enough, and that most of us who are self-employed, myself included, didn't pay into these things for our lifetimes, we are at a crisis point. And not doing anything about it is the wrong approach. We actually need to do something about it. But the other thing that doesn't get talked about at all is that we're sitting on a little gold mine. And that is our lived experience. That is a real bonus that we have, being a person between 45 and 65, is that we have lived life. We have gained knowledge through experiences, through tragedies, through starting businesses, through growing our skill sets over and over and over again, reinventing ourselves as these amazing, resilient women that we are. And we are sitting on a gold mine with that knowledge. It's not just the knowledge we got necessarily from our university or our college or whatever profession we did, but the real lived life experience that we can pass that knowledge on, package it up, and use that for reducing our retirement gap. As a person who's helped other people jump into SWC and get rolling, one of the people that I helped, she is a dear, dear person out in Langley, BC, in British Columbia, where I live, and she runs a microgreens business from home. She taught herself how to do it. She got all the equipment, and she actually has created with her daughter a business where they grow, harvest, and then sell to businesses all these microgreens. You know, those fancy things that you put in your salads and your sandwiches. And I said to her, listen, Lorna, this is brilliant. You can take your knowledge of running your own microgreens business and turn it into a digital course. We can teach other people even just to grow microgreens from home and or as a business. She didn't realize that she could monetize this knowledge and actually create another stream of income that she could leverage. And that's the important thing to remember. And we'll be touching on that more as we go through the course. So she has this little pot. She hadn't even thought of it that way. She was just literally in the weeds, not quite, but in the microgreen weeds of doing her day-to-day business without realizing this golden pot she was sitting on. And I said to her, the course will teach you exactly how to take that knowledge, put it into your own digital course, which you can then get out to the universe. There's all kinds of people who'd love to know how to grow microgreens in their kitchens and add these good nutritional things to their own diets, not just you delivering to businesses. So she's pretty excited and she's getting going on that very soon. Take a moment and just pause and think about what skill sets you have and lived experiences you've been through, the things that you know, us, the future wisdom gatherers of our generation. Think about that. Like, write down some ideas that you might have. I have a saying to the people who join through me into SWC. I'm like this, okay? I'm pretty brutally honest. I'm like, oh, if you say to me, I'm going to think about it and I think I'll maybe do that at some point. No, you're going to do it today. And this is why. Because someday never comes. The only time that matters is now. And Lorna really got that. That's why she jumped in through me into the course. And she knew that unless she did that and pulled the lever, pressed the start button, she was going to stay stuck. So that someday needs to be today. Because let's just imagine this. Say that you do nothing. You watch me on this video, you see me explain about all the side hustles I've done to make money, how much I've actually made, what Lorna's going to go do with her microgreens, and you just sit on it and do nothing. What is that going to do for your retirement gap in 2 years? Just think about 2 years from today, okay? Right now it's April 2026. Where are you going to be in April of 2028? You're going to be 2 years closer to retirement or maybe in it already. And what's happened to that retirement gap? The way you're going to take that retirement gap and shrink it is by taking action. It is the only reality that you need to think about, right? And really let that sit with you and live it, like live that feeling of not doing anything. But then I also want you to live the feeling of taking action. You know, it's going to be super messy at first. You're going to feel a little bit scared, or maybe more than a little bit scared, because you've decided to get out of your comfort zone. And that, for us humans, we like being in our comfort zone because that's what's made us survive. But also staying in our comfort zone can kill us. So there's a point where we have to expand ourselves, get out of our comfort zone, and try something new. And trust me on this, in the last year, I have learned 4 new skill sets that have made me thousands of dollars. The only thing that got me to do that was starting. Now, I'm not going to make income promises to you. It's up to you what you do with these streams of income when you join SWC. So what I want you to do for your homework today, day 2, video 2, underneath here, go grab it. This is all about figuring out 3 areas where you have some expertise that you think somebody would pay you for. Now, think big. Okay, there is a guy I know who's made millions of dollars. Okay, I don't know him personally, but I know of his story online. He teaches people how to do handstands, okay, of all the things. And I think about the skill sets I have that I could make a course out of, my strengths that I could make a course out of, and just these things that you can bring to the table when you do these other streams of income, if it's not a course that you want to make. But go do the homework down below, grab that form, just like yesterday. You can print it, or you can just read it and write out notes in your notepad, but do it writing. And then tomorrow we're going to address the biggest objection I hear from women in our age demographic, the 45 to 65-year-olds, and that is, I'm no good at tech. Well, we're going to talk about that one tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video.